I married a stranger for a dying girl's wish, but now I don't want to get divorced. I've worked at Make-A-Wish for 3 years. Most kids ask to meet their favorite celebrities or go to Disney World, maybe even meet Spider-Man. But this little 9-year-old girl, Evie, was different. When I asked what she wanted the most in the whole world, she said excitedly, "I want to see my daddy get married again." Me and the other staff in the room were shocked to silence. She grabbed her father's phone and showed me a picture of her parents' wedding day. "See how daddy smiled? He stopped when mommy went to heaven and when I got sick." Her father, Lawrence, stood in the corner mortified. "Evie, sweetie, we talked about this." She shook her head, oxygen tubes rustling. "But it's really my wish," she pouted. "Who will smile with you when I'm gone?" I'd lost my mom at her age. I knew that worry. What if we could make this happen? Would that make you happy, Evie? She nodded her head furiously. Yes, 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 yes. Lawrence started to protest, but Evie grabbed his hand. "Please, Daddy." He looked at his daughter, then at me, and nodded. Evie became the world's most determined wedding planner. I watched Say Yes to the Dress with Mommy when I was little, so we started with the dresses. She picked out a dozen and sat on the couch, judging each one rigorously whenever I walked out. At cake tasting, Evie could barely eat, but insisted on trying every chocolate slice. "Daddy pretends he likes vanilla, but he always steals chocolate," she whispered. I laughed. "Don't worry, I'll keep it a secret." And while most of it was fun, the dance lessons were awkward. Lawrence moved around stiffly, holding me like I was a cactus. When he stepped on my foot for the 4th time, I stepped on his back, grinning. "That's payback," I joked. His shoulders instantly relaxed, and the rest of the practice went smoothly. But each day that the planning went on, Evie got weaker. More excited, but definitely weaker. So while she rested at the hospital, preparing for the big day, Lawrence and I finished decorating her wheelchair and helping organize the venue. "It's really nice of you to do this for us," Lawrence said, working on the string of lights. She hadn't smiled like this since her mother passed. "I was 6 when my mom passed too," I told him with a soft smile. "In a way, I'm thankful I get to be a part of this. I'm thankful it's you too. I can't imagine any other person doing this with us," he said, looking at me just as the fairy lights he was setting up turned on. We stood there for a while, staring while my heart raced, and I hoped and prayed he didn't look at me like this, just because of a wish. The morning of the wedding, Evie did my hair with shaking hands. "After you get married, can I call you Mommy?" My chest squeezed painfully. I pulled her into a hug. "Anything you want," I whispered. When I walked down the aisle, Lawrence's eyes filled with tears, and I realized my wish had also come true at that moment. We were in love. Evie walked beside me with her walker, using all her strength to throw flowers on the sides of my veil, just as she wanted. Lawrence and I read our vows to each other, but Evie surprised us with her own. She looked at me first. "Do you promise to make my daddy laugh again? And make sure he still gets cereal on weekends and watches cartoons on weekdays when I'm not here?" I looked at this brave little girl, wiping away my tears. "I promise." Then she turned to Lawrence, whose eyes were already filled with tears before she started reading to him. "Hi, Daddy. Thank you for my last wish. I love my dress, and I love the flowers and glitter on my wheelchair and walker. I love you very much, and now 2 people can love you." My dream came true. They hugged each other while the entire room burst into sniffles and tears. The rest of the ceremony went by quickly, but the kiss felt the longest. Lawrence cupped my face and pressed his lips to mine slowly, like he was saying thank you, and I'm sorry, and I love you, all at once. We opened wedding gifts in their living room that night. Evie laughed at a funny card and gasped when she saw money in the envelope. "This was the best day ever," she said, sitting between us on the couch. Then she went rigid. Lawrence caught her while she collapsed, nearly falling onto the floor while her body started seizing up. I quickly called 911. 9-year-old girl, terminal patient, collapsed. Evie's eyes opened slightly like she was looking without seeing. She said with a fading voice, "Oh, hi, Mommy. I've missed you. Did you see the wedding I made?" The ambulance was 5 minutes away.